This is us. This is our nature. This is the center of supervision, a mechanical eye moving unparalleled through the sky. We use technology as extension of the human body. We use the camera as extension of the human eye. Perspective centers everything on the eye of the beholder. The appearances we perceive from this perspective are called reality. Perspective makes the eye the center of the visible world. To utilize this mechanical eye, we need to understand the way of looking at the world from the vertical perspective. This perspective exposes scale, depth, and distance as information, revealing forms and patterns impossible to see from the ground. Different events appear, each telling their own story, giving the viewer top-down knowledge while observing the landscape. But despite the fact that this mastery of space permits a way of seeing as knowing, we need to understand that we are not air-minded. Decoding the vertical perspective required skill, such as visual literacy of the Earth's surface. The familiar on the horizontal perspective becomes unfamiliar from the vertical. Humans, trees, and buildings will blend and become one with the Earth's surface. Foreground, middle ground, and misty distance, made unfamiliar from the air, all turned inside out. Each abstract pattern with a dynamic of its own. Recently, drone technology enabled unlimited access to the vertical perspective. With technology, we are able to perceive unparalleled real-time imagery of the world. Because this technology makes it possible to move unlimited with a camera, it's possible to capture the world from new perspectives. 5 of the most essential perspectives are: Overview. This perspective is being used to capture a panoramic view of landscape while being in motion. Focus. This perspective focuses on the viewpoint on a subject, while the camera is in transient motion. Track. This perspective is commonly utilized to capture the view of a moving object. While the camera moves parallel to the subject, the camera tracks the view of the object in motion. Reveal. This perspective captures the span between the two positions, the point of view and the wide-angle view. This perspective exposes the relation between the subject and its background, as it reveals the depth of the scene. Scale. This perspective is being used to capture the scale of an object by placing it in a geographical dimension. These perspectives reveal the power of supervision as the mechanical eye hovers through the sky. This supervision makes a drone the ultimate tool for control, making it able for governments and authorities to observe and monitor every event with an unlimited view. Utilizing thermal imaging to form an image out of infrared radiation allows the observer to effectively see in areas where no visible light is present. This imagery is extremely aesthetic and produces a beautiful monochrome tonality. Still, this technology carries a certain aesthetic violence, dehumanizing the subject, portraying people in alien form as monstrous, exposing a human as heat signature. Taking away the emotional communication by portraying people as white-hot appearance on the black velvet background. The observer is left confused, alienated. The world feels suddenly unfamiliar. Only the trained eye is required to decode and interpret the movements on the earth below. This mastery of space permits a way of seeing as knowing, and this knowing is the ultimate research to power and control. The fact that this technology is able to monitor with high-resolution cameras, map our lives with the most advanced tracking systems will change our everyday lives. This technology gives us the power to see from above and tell us what is going on in real time. This is why it's important to understand that this technology comes with many forms of power and embedded politics. At this moment, it is really urgent to think critically about drones because of the quick rise in artificial intelligence. These developments could cause a situation whereby drones as autonomous actors will dominate the sky and make decisions of their own. This shows us that we as humans need to make ethical and legal decisions while using technology, and that we as a society take responsibility for the sky as a public space. The supervision will only develop more and more in the next 10 to 50 years. That is why it is important to understand the power of this mighty perspective from above. By experiencing this new way of looking at the world, we can be critical and question the way the supervision will affect our future and the way the society we live in. We are designing our future, and that is why it is important to adjust ourselves to this new technology and its perspective, allowing the supervision to learn us about the way our world functions.